I just took my first swim of this year. Crazy that it took me so long, but it was just always so cold and I was working hard to get a hot shower, so then I just wanted to use my hot shower. But it's so refreshing. I really forgot what it feels like. So now my bridge is gone, so I have to jump over the creek. Beautiful creek. So in this video I'm gonna answer the most frequently asked questions, and I hope it's gonna be helpful and interesting for anyone who's interested in doing a similar thing to what I'm doing here. So let's start with some general questions. How big is your land? So all of this part with the 3 stone houses and the wood cabin down there bordering the river has 4,000 square meters. And then I have a forest part which is 100 meters from this land, and the forest land has 7,000 square meters. It has a small ruin and a creek going through it, otherwise there's some eucalyptus and mimosas. Unfortunately not that many native species. But on this land I have 2 old olive trees and the beautiful elder trees by the river. And I planted some lemon, orange and walnut and apple trees. Then the question if I know how old the houses are. So by the way they are built, it's clear that they were built one after the other. And unfortunately I don't know which one was built first. But here we have a little clue. So down here under the grill area, we have a mark. So this part of the house was built in 1882, which means in 7 years I can celebrate the 150th birthday. Okay, what made you pick that house for the start of the renovation? So as you can see, these 3 houses are connected and they are all built into the hill. So in order to renovate them, you would have to dig out the whole back wall. While this house is smaller and separated from the other ones, it already had a concrete floor in there, so it was much easier. And then to give you an overview of the layout of the renovated house. So I started with the room up there and turned it into my living and bedroom. And now I built a kitchen into it. So it's basically a tiny home in one room. I completely redid the ground floor and we renovated a bathroom here and then another room next to the bathroom. And in this little corner is my laundry and the utility room. And in the back there is a covered area with a pizza oven, and I'm using it as my wood storage at the moment because I need some covered dry storage space. And these houses are pretty much untouched. In this tiny room up here is my tool shed, and the rest of the houses are still in ruins. Partly the floor is rotten. And if you want to see the inside of these houses and a general tour of all of this, watch this video right here. Have you thought about getting a dog or a cat? I really love animals, especially cats and chicken. But if I want to stay free to travel, I can't take on that responsibility because I couldn't leave them alone. And now a bit about the finances. How much did your property cost? Property costs in Portugal are, in my experience, generally a bit lower than in other European countries. But also here the prices are increasing, and comparable properties cost from 40k to 120k, depending on the size and on the features. For example, if the property has a water source like a spring or well, and if the houses are registered as habitation. Now, how did you finance your property? I borrowed the money to buy this property and will pay it back over the years. And whenever possible, I try to pay the renovation costs and the materials directly from my monthly income, which is possible through my off-grid lifestyle with 0 energy and water costs. Next, how do you afford your lifestyle? Do you have another job? Due to my self-sufficiency here, my monthly expenses are lower than you would expect. So I have some income from YouTube, and I studied architecture, so I'm able to help design tiny houses as well. But for sure, I need to save money wherever I can. Now, let's go to the more personal questions. Why did you choose Portugal and how did you find your property? So actually a part of my family moved to central Portugal and they live close to me, so that's how I came to this area. And what was useful for my property search with real estate agents was that I was living as a volunteer at a farm, so I really got to know all the agents and all the properties in the area over a longer period of time, so I can recommend that. And many people were wondering if I'm in a relationship. I've been dating someone for a while now, and I'm very excited for you to meet that person in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Do you ever get lonely? Living in the woods is never easy, but my family and friends come over to help and I help them, so I have my network here. And the volunteers from our community here have been the most amazing people, which I'm super grateful to have met through YouTube. Did you have prior experiences in building and renovation, or did you have zero skills? I did not have any building skills prior to this project. I did grow up in creative surroundings. People in my family also renovated themselves, so I was surrounded by this kind of vibe. But how I learned was by making my own experiences, and working together with experienced builders really helped me to pick up some skills. And after almost 3 years, I can say that I'm very proud of the skills that I've learned so far in plumbing, electrics, woodworking, bricklaying, rendering, tiling, land cleaning, landscaping, and gardening. It's definitely fun to learn a new skill. I'm looking forward to learn more skills in future projects. Next is, how do you stay motivated? Where do you get your motivation from? It makes me really happy to see a finished project, so I take that into the next project. And the process of learning something new, failing, but then proving that I still could do it in the end is something very satisfying, and I can see the physical result of my actions every day. So working with my hands is really a wonderful thing for me. But sometimes, or a lot of the times, it's also hard because I dove into projects so many times that I had no prior knowledge about. And of course, then I make mistakes. It can be quite devastating and stressful. But these setbacks are also important experiences for me, because with each setback that I overcome, I get more calm when the next one arrives. So what has kept me going lots of times were actually your positive comments, which really helped me, because I felt that you supported me and that you actually believed that I could do this. So your positive comments are actually a great way to support my project. How many languages do you speak? So I speak English, German. I used to speak French quite well, but now it's been kind of replaced with Portuguese. Since Portuguese and Spanish are very similar, I can understand and speak a little bit of Spanish too. And now some questions about the last projects. Do you have to take the stairs outside to go to the bathroom? Yes, I'm using the existing stairs. The inside is very small and it would take up half the room to build some inner staircase there. Will you move to the room downstairs? Will the upper room be only the kitchen eventually? So in the future, the first floor may become a cozy living and kitchen area, while the ground floor, the room next to the bathroom, is super quiet because of the thick walls. It would be a perfect bedroom. Wouldn't that be a beautiful view for a bedroom? And about the kitchen, what is that paper that you ironed on the kitchen cabinet doors? This is a wood imitating laminate edge that you iron on, and it just protects the edges of the doors. How come that you don't have an oven in your kitchen? Do you plan on getting one eventually? As it's a very tiny kitchen, I preferred to have more storage instead of the occasional baking option. Possible options are a portable electric oven, or to exchange my wood burner with a wood burner where you can also bake and cook in. Before we dive into the next questions about my plans, also for these buildings, I want to show you a beautiful beach that I'm going to with my friend Sandra and her Doberman. Good morning, Takeo! We're gonna do the first beach trip of the season.
Foz do Areio.
We're going to Foz do Areio. Yeah. With this little guy. Are you ready for the beach, boy? So we're close now. Oh, here's the beach.
You can see the Berlengas. Berlengas is on. It's getting too excited.
So excited!
And there's the entrance into the lake.
Wow! So we made it to the beach! First time this season! It is really cold! finally can move his body. He's been riding the whole road. You're tired already, buddy? After 2 minutes. Oh! Oh no! He's camera shy whenever the camera's on.
I know, it's always on camera.
Still a bit cold here. So nice to be back at the beach. I missed it. I missed the smell, what it feels like to have the feet in the sand. Ew, it feels like a dog fur. So slimy. It's like a little green monster. Quite refreshing, right? Oh! Ah! Now my pants also got wet. Oh my god! Little wetty.
Oh, I know! Good job, buddy, good job!
Bye bye, you. Sandy is also renovating a house in Portugal, and I've linked her Instagram and Takeo's in the description below. So now we have to say goodbye to this beautiful place. I've never been here before, it's amazing. It really felt like a vacation day here. So, back to the Q&A session. What are your plans for the rest of the buildings? For now I'm happy to finish off the house where I'm living in and plan to enjoy it afterwards and take care of the gardens and the land and the driveway and the river terraces, because there's a lot of work to do here. For example, making the entrance drivable. For the other two houses, since good architectural plans take a lot of time and inspiration, this is a future project at the moment. I'm now in the room next to the bathroom. And probably the most asked questions of all, what about using hydropower from the river? We found this old water wheel structure. It's a bit overgrown now. And it is connected to this tank up there, where I am leading the rainwater from the roofs. But that is not enough to power a generator. Solar power in Portugal and in my situation is at the moment much more cost efficient because the river is very small and slow in the summer as well. And let me show you my solar setup. But with the river on the property, hydropower is definitely a dream that I'm dreaming of. So I have a Victron inverter with 3000 watts and 2 batteries with a total of almost 6 kilowatt hours. On the roof there's 4 panels with a maximum of 1700 watts that they can produce at one moment. So with this setup I can cover 3 days without any sunshine without problems, and this is usually enough before the weather changes. It was a big learning last winter. I only had one of these batteries and I was struggling a lot when there were some rainy days. I had to turn off the fridge, use less water from the water pump. So this year we extended the solar system with a second battery. I'm so happy. Since then I don't have to worry when there's rainy days. I can still do my thing and boil my water. But in the future I might extend the system because the consumption has increased with all my new kitchen appliances and the washing machine. And now, what's next? I have many interests. I love building and I love taking care of this land. I also love to travel and to see the world, to get new inspiration from places, travel with light luggage, be on the move, be flexible, meet new people. So that's another passion of mine. And I also miss spending time with my family and friends in my home country actually. So the next video will be special. I'm going on vacation, but I'm not alone. I hope this gives you a good overview of my project at the moment, and let me know your questions and thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. It's completely free. Thank you so much. Ciao!